Okay, welcome to our P3 method futures and Forex forecast for the week of July 10th. It's great to be with you. We're going to start with the stock futures and go through some of the trades that are similar to last week that are set up, and then we will review the Forex markets. This is the S&P futures, the ES. We looked at last week this divergence of the advanced decline line to price. Now, if we add a couple of indicators, we see that price, open interest, and volume is actually diverging the other way. And we had an overbought signal in the Williams percent R that is coming down. You know, sometimes I made the case last week that sometimes this overboughtness still sees some buying into that. But since we're at the highs, we saw some divergence there. In this case, it has come down. So I still believe that this market is, with this advanced decline line, still pretty bullish, but sometimes it doesn't happen right away. So we might see a little bit of retracement next week, a little bit of choppiness down in here to these lows again before we see the next leg higher. But I do believe we are going higher with these particular indicators still showing us this strength in the breadth of the market. Just a quick review with gold. We were looking for this 3-bar reversal to go up, and it is kind of consolidated here. And another thing that we were looking for was let's move this out of the way. We were looking for a trend line to be broken, and that's exactly what we got. We got a down day, and then a break above this trend line. So it is expected that we still see some bullishness into next week for the gold market. Taking a closer look at silver, we're in kind of the same boat here. We are hitting higher highs and higher lows in the Williams percent R, higher highs, higher lows in the price. And so even with a big down day on Thursday, so if we are able to get back to this high on Monday, that is going to be quite bullish for the silver market. Okay, the next market that we were looking at was the natural gas market, looking for a buy signal. It has pulled back a little bit, not too much, especially if you're doing your P3 method of setting up a range, being able to buy into previous low. We're still in a good spot for a potential reversal. If you haven't entered this yet, a return back to the highs on Monday or Tuesday would be a bullish signal. Or if you want to be more conservative, waiting for that trend, downtrend flag like pattern to be broken. But we are in a nice buy signal here with the Williams percent R, and the fundamentals are looking really good for return back at least up to these highs. Okay, we were looking for buy signals here in the corn market, and we got some movement back up, a movement back down, and then movement back up, a movement back down. So we are starting to consolidate. That's actually a pretty good sign of some consolidating at a low. We are at a buy signal here on the Williams percent R. I expect to get back possibly up into this range in the corn market, 528, 530. In this area, and so that is still in play for me as well. The wheat market got a nice rebound after the holiday, had a nice rebound. It's kind of retraced a little bit, but typically that's something that we see with the formation of a higher low. I expect this market to also continue back upwards, possibly into this range, back in the 700, 704 area. Another market that interests me is the crude oil market. It made a break of these highs that it's been kind of stuck around for a little while. It is getting into overbought range, but I can see it come back up into this range into 75, and then possibly make a test back down. So that could be a little short-term play next week that we see on Monday coming up. And then if we see a formation of a 3-bar reversal and coming down, that would be a sell signal to come back down into this range. It's kind of been range bound for quite a while, so I don't see anything changing to get this going up into back in the 80s. But while that's possible, we could be seeing some attempt to go that higher and then come back into the range. That's kind of what I'm expecting on this market as well. So keep an eye out for this. Is one I'm going to be keeping an eye on next week. All right, let's move over to the Forex markets. The euro yen is in fact starting to come down. We've got the break of that low and it tested back up and it's come down, tested back up, it's come down, made formations of lower highs, lower lows. It's exactly what we were expecting from last week. Hope you took advantage of that. We also looking at the dollar yen, and today it made a nice move. It kind of started off the week pretty flat, just like what we saw after the holiday. Before the holiday, like we saw after the holiday, and now it's starting to come back down. The 4-hour is giving us kind of a buy signal, but the daily is just starting to come down. So there are some of these yen pairs that could have a bounce back up, but I'm expecting a little bit more retracement before a longer term continuation of the long bullish trend that we've been experiencing in these yen pairs, and which there's no reason why it should keep continuing, but we usually get buyer exhaustion and profit taking, that sort of thing. So I could see it coming down into this range until the daily gets into more of a buy area. We're gonna sit tight on this market. With the euro yen, and even we've got the CAD yen is in a buy signal in the 4-hour. This is actually a good opportunity to buy. I'm going to be keeping an eye on it, see if it can come down another 150 pips or so, and then start my buy. If it makes a bounce first and then comes down, we'll probably wait for it to come down into this range. But this is a good short-term play for next week. If you're looking for even just a couple of days, it could bounce up here, 50 pips or so, or back up to these highs before making another leg down. The daily's just not quite set up for another buy signal, but that doesn't mean you can't take advantage of more of the short-term signals. So this would be a short-term couple-day play bounce if you get that 3-bar reversal on something like the CAD yen, the euro yen, the dollar yen. So those yen pairs, I'll be on the lookout for short-term buys, but sell the rallies. The other trade that I'm looking at is the CAD Swiss franc. We have been in this kind of long-term downtrend and keep back up to these consolidations, and it's making a move back down. This is a similar situation to CAD yen, but the CAD Swiss franc is set up potentially for a buy on the daily and the 4-hour. So this is again one that I'm going to be keeping my eye on next week. If Monday can extend a little bit lower, we've got this buy signal here in the CAD Swiss franc. I do like the fact if it could come down another 50 pips or so, but with our P3 method, we could start small and start buying a little bit. That's what I'm going to start doing. And then if it comes down, I'm going to be scaling in a little bit, a risk allocation here, and we'll use these previous pivots. So even this bottom one, it's not too far of a range to maybe capture a move back to the upside, and just play off the potential volatility for next week. So next week I'm looking for this to come down a little bit more, create a 3-bar reversal, and then see if we can't capture 50 to 100 pips on that, particularly for some day trading. Another market that I'm still looking for on a buy is the Aussie Kiwi. Last week we said we're looking for a buy. That was about in here at the end of last week. It has steadily just come down all week with just finally today it kind of made a move back up. So that's one I'm still looking at Monday, as you can see that ADX is finally coming down and the stochastic is moving up, and on the daily we're getting something similar. So I'm expecting this to come back up about 100 pips next week. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to be doing that, but this is one that's still on my docket from last week. So mainly the CAD yen, the CAD Swiss franc, all the yen pairs, again, we want to keep a close eye on. We could get some short-term burst back up. I want to sell the rallies there a little bit on those yen pairs. But the Canadian Swiss franc looking for a buy, still looking for a buy on the New Zealand dollar, the Kiwi there. The other sell that I'm possibly looking at is the pound Canadian dollar, the pound CAD. So this is the daily here. We are getting into the overbought range. You can see that we're coming up into this range. This is what I'm going to be looking for it to go up a little bit more and then possibly sell into those rallies. And this is why. The 4-hour suggests that we are in a in a potential sell condition. You can see we've been overbought for a while, really strong uptrend over extended market. It's going to try to come back down. I think it could come up another 50 to 100 pips. But if it does do that, I'll be, starting my range and then playing against another 100 and 150 pips to scale into and possibly catch a move back down. And that's not my favorite out of these three, but this is something I definitely want to keep on an eye on for next week. So there you have it. There's several markets that we're still looking for pullback buys on the stock market. We're looking for selling the rallies in the crude oil, still looking for those buys in the wheat markets and the metals, the gold and silver. And then with some of these pairs that we just talked about, the Forex, just always remember to keep an eye, be patient, wait for the right setups, and do what we're doing here. Make a plan and look at what the market's going to do. And then once the market tells you where to get in for your specific strategy, take it and manage your risk accordingly and safely. So wish you the best of luck for this next upcoming week. And don't hesitate to reach out to me at kevin@tradingbuddysystem.com. And we will talk to you again next week. Take care.